I'm Dr. John, and this is your Maintenance Minute. Look, no whiteboard today. I'm going to talk to you about a very serious subject. I think it's very serious. Of course, we're going to talk about safety. Now, this might come as a shock to you, and this is purely my belief, but I think that we're at greater risk when we're doing routine things that we've done all the time. In fact, it's probably your experience too. You guys have seen that sort of safety triangle that says, we do a lot of stuff and we finally get a first aid, then it turns into maybe a recordable, and as we go up that chain, there's some real significant issue, but it's usually the routine work that's catching us, and I want to talk to you about that today. Years ago, I was doing a maintenance effectiveness assessment at a plant in Idaho. Again, this was a long time ago, but I was given, it was a 3-day evaluation. The 4th day, sort of here's what I saw, here's what I recommend that you do, sort of an assessment and a strategy session. Anyway, I'm meeting with the plant leadership, and I'm the only person who can see outside the conference room because they all have their backs to the big glass window. And I'm looking outside in the main office complex, and around one of the cubicle, a lot of people are starting to kind of run over and have some animated conversations. And it looked very important. So I told the plant manager who was in the strategy session, the outbrief, I said, hey, Jim, you might want to go see what's going on out there because it looks like there's something serious happening. So Jim goes outside and gets involved in this animated discussion, comes running back in, cancels the meeting. What had happened was just moments earlier, someone in the storeroom had been killed. Now, they weren't killed in the storeroom, they were killed out on the highway. What had happened was they'd gone to their off-site storage location, picked up something, put it on a flatbed truck, were driving back, and presumably, this is what we think happened anyway, the load had been shifting, so they got out of the truck on the highway to go kind of tighten the straps down, and the gentleman got hit by a passing semi-truck. Now, again, something routine, right? I'm sure that storeroom person had gone to the warehouse site many times, put many things on that truck, brought it back to the plant. Maybe he had to stop and adjust the load every now and again. Very routine. So I want you to keep that in mind. Again, very routine, right? Very benign. Just a little activity. Go get something and come back. I was in the Air Force for many, many years, and for 7 years I was a crash investigator. And almost without exception, every crash, as far as peacetime, and I'm not talking about the Gulf War, but any peacetime incident, accident, or actual crash that I was investigating, without exception, every single one of those had happened during a routine activity. If it was a ground kind of collision or incident, it was, crew chief or some maintenance person or somebody moving something around, hit an airplane. They'd done it a million times. If it was an air crew that was involved in an incident, they were practicing a maneuver. They practice all the time. Some routine flight parameter or something. I'm not a pilot, but something they were working on that they've done before. Very rarely, to the point it's not happened to me as far as official investigation, is someone doing something for the first time. It's usually when we're doing something for the first time, again, my experience, is that's when we got maybe a little extra supervision, maybe people are a little bit more vigilant because they've never done it before, they're a little bit more aware of what's going on. They're just, they don't usually get bit the first time they do something. I think there's something about that routine work. I don't know if we get complacent, we start thinking about things that aren't kind of right in front of us. Certainly now with the heat of the summer coming on, we're trying to do a lot of work with few people. We've lost maintenance folks to attrition. We can't seem to find qualified folks. Supply chain, we don't have the right part. We're just trying to do something routine, maintain and reliability. And it's then that you are at the greatest risk of getting hurt or significantly hurt. And I certainly hope I don't want that to happen to anybody, of course. So here's my pledge to you, and I hope that you'll make this pledge with me. Let's pledge to each other that when we're doing the routine stuff, we're going to be very vigilant. Of course, we're doing something brand new, never done it before. We definitely are paying attention. But we've got to get our head in the game in this routine work. I think that's when we're at the greatest risk. That has certainly been my exception. I don't want anything to happen to you guys, so let's look out for each other. Let's look out for one another. Let's look out for ourselves. Certainly at work, certainly at home, but also when we're in the highway. Let's have a great summer and be safe out there. Watch out for one another. I'm Dr. John. This has been your Maintenance Minute.